Again for the second time in 3 days. We're back live on the channel, and today we feature another great rivalry, another great high-stakes matchup coming from the Big Ten. Today, the Michigan Wolverines, who are sitting at 14-12, host the visiting Michigan State Spartans, a program that has been through as much as possible this week. We saw earlier this week the campus shooting that killed three of some of these players' friends, fellow students. So a whole lot to corral in their minds. But we heard Tom Izzo say a few days ago that this is going to be their healing method. They're going to go out and win this game on the road against their in-state rivals, the Michigan Wolverines. Now, let's break down this matchup really quick before we get to the tip. As showing Michigan State walking into the Chrysler Center. But first, let's recap the head coaches' resumes coming into this one before we get into one of the best rivalries in college sports, the Michigan State Spartans and the Michigan Wolverines. Tom Izzo, he's in his 28th season, one of the most iconic head coaches in college basketball history, standing tonight, trying to get his team a win for not only his team, not only for Michigan State, but for the whole East Lansing area, the whole state of Michigan, and the whole country, at that matter, after a devastating week there. Now, there's your story. There's really Michigan State. I mean, they have so much to play for tonight that it's hard to bring to words. And it's hard to bring towards the tragedy that we saw earlier this week. But that's Michigan State. We'll get back to them in a minute. Michigan, they're led by their head coach, Juwan Howard. He's in his fourth year. He's got two sons on the team. And he led them deep in the NCAA tournament a few years ago. And he's built a good background and resume at Michigan. As he's their coach for quite a ways to come. But, I mean, he's been struggling a bit this year. Obviously, he's only had his team at 14-12, and they're 8th in the Big Ten, so they're trying to find their legs. But he was the 2020-21 Big Ten Coach of the Year. He played 116 games at Michigan. So, I mean, he's at his alma mater. And it's who Michigan wants to be their head coach. So, that's all that matters. And so, yeah, there's a bit of background on our head coaches. There's a bit of background on what we have to play for today. Now, dive into some of the stats or such here. Michigan State heads on the road for the 10th time this season. They're 4-5 so far, so they have not been able to handle the environment as well as we've seen plenty of other teams in college basketball. However, Michigan State was able to take that first game of the season series against Michigan. However, that was in East Lansing at Michigan State. So we'll see how they're able to handle the environment on the road at Michigan, which is never an easy environment to play in, even when they're having a struggling season like they are. And Michigan State, when they get hot, they get hot. They've won 7 in a row, once this season. We've seen them go on big runs, and they look to keep it going today, as they've won 2 straight, looking to make it 3. Michigan State, they've got many dominant guards who have the capability with the outside shooting, but they can also use their speed to dart inside. A few guys to watch out for, like Willie Cole, Joey Hauser. Those guys are both dominant on the outside. Once they get the ball inside, they're also hard to stop as well. And again, Michigan State, 16-9. They're 8-6 in conference, so we're going to go a long way. They're sitting at 6th place right now in the Big Ten. Michigan, they lost their last game. I mean, Wisconsin, they haven't been an easy team to play all year. They haven't been the best team all year either. So, I mean, that's not one that Michigan's going to want to remember. But we also saw them play competitive. We saw them score nearly 10 points below their average on the season, however. So Michigan, they need to get the legs back underneath them offensively. And find that rhythm. They need to get into a rhythm early. They need to find that fast start, and we'll see if they can do it. I think it's going to be who can get the better start because both these teams are good at building off momentum. Michigan, they like to play fast. They like to get out in transition. And they're going to look to get the crowd into it early on. Michigan averages just over 70 points per game. Michigan State, a few below 70 points. So, I mean, two teams that are very even stat-wise. Michigan does give up almost 70 a game. So that's something to watch out for as well. Michigan, they've got big guys. I mean, Michigan State, it's about some of the dominant guards, but Michigan's got some of the dominant big guys. I mean, Hunter Dickinson, 7'1", huge guy in close. Huge guy in deep, I should say. Isaiah Barnes, we'll see him get some playing time along with Terrence Williams. Those guys both stand up around 6'7". And even Coach's sons, Howard kids. I mean, they aren't the smallest guys. Even at 6'7", 6'8". So they've got a lot of size on this team. As the only guys below 6'5" are Kobe Buffkin, Jalen Llewellyn, and Doug McDaniel. And they are all guards who have a lot of speed behind them, and they're able to hit from outside. So we'll see if they can deliver for their team. Today, from the Chrysler Center in Ann Arbor. Well, all the buildup, all the hype. We've heard the stories. We've heard what Michigan State wants to do in this game. They want to win it for their community, their school, their team, and the country. First game off of the deadly shooting at the campus. So, with about a minute to spare before tip-off, let's go ahead and share this scoreboard. We got one person on. Austin, to answer your question about why did I delete him, I mean, I don't know if I want to say this, but sometimes there's just a few people that I feel like either ask personal questions, they ask too many questions that I don't feel comfortable answering, and sometimes they just say inappropriate stuff. So that's why. But anyway, I'm looking forward to this one. It's going to be a good game. Michigan State, all to play for. Michigan, all to play for as well. It's a rivalry. It's got all the build-up behind it. And we'll just see which team can come out with the heavier hearts, which team can pour that on the court, and who can use it as kind of an advantage. So I think that's what we got to use this situation. We got to use it as a chance to spread joy back into these communities. We got to use it as a chance to heal, I don't know. I mean, we can use it as a chance for a lot of things. It's just how we want to go at this game. And I think both these teams are ready to play. Both these teams want to play. They're playing for a lot. He's asked me for my phone number multiple times in the past. And in this case, he was asking to be on this stream, which I did not feel comfortable with. But let's go ahead and share the scoreboard. That's beside the point. We're going to have a fun night. It's Michigan State. It's Michigan. And it is inside a packed building with a lot of energy, a lot of heavy hearts out there. But they're all playing for a good cause. And they're all playing to get a win for the state of Michigan and for the school of Michigan State. Tom Izzo paces the sideline. Juwan Howard starts sitting down. So we're just about ready to get going in this one. Paul Selk, DJ Carstensen, and Brian Dorsey, the officials tonight. Paul Selk ready to toss the ball up. They're jumping around. The people in yellow from the Michigan student section. They're hyped. It's the in-state rivalry, and it is a lot to play for both these schools. Jumping it up, it's Dickinson. He goes at it with Mady Sissoko, who gets start for, top of my head, I'd say the 8th straight game or so for the Spartans. Right off the bat, It's Michigan State ball. Here's Hoggard. Hoggard to Hauser. He tries a jumper from the free throw line and knocks down the game's first bucket. Joey Hauser gets Michigan State off and running early in this one. Just about 20 seconds in, the Spartans are on the board up 2. Dickinson has the ball at the top of the key. Dickinson to the 5'11" Kobe Buffkin. Buffkin along 2, and he ties the game. So both teams with a few long jumpers to get their legs underneath them and start this one. Doug McDaniel starting his 19th game in game number 27. There's good defense by Dickinson to poke it away from Sissoko. Instead, it goes back up high. There's Akins, and now driving in. The floater, no good. It was off balance. Hoggard wanted a foul. He ain't going to get it. We're a minute in, tied at 2. Michigan State looks to take, or Michigan now, I'm going to get that mixed up all night, looks to take their first lead as McDaniel tries a corner 3, and he's got all 5 for Michigan. And it is a 5-2 lead for the Wolverines right away in this one. Doug McDaniel, I said this before, he's speedy. He can hit from outside. He's only 5'11", as here he gets a steal. They've got a 2-on-0 break. McDaniel lays it in. And it's 7-2 Michigan. They are running all over the place early on in this one. A 5-point lead. Hauser, top of the key. Here it goes to Akins. Akins now to Walker. Tyson Walker with 15 to shoot. Gets the screen up high, Sissoko. Walker takes it in, and he finishes up and over Dickinson, high off the glass. And Michigan State comes back with the answer. We had a whistle after this play for something. Didn't see what they got, though. So we trade baskets early on. Michigan went on that short 5-0 run. Michigan State, though, able to calm and get those points back. We actually had a technical foul here after that layup on Hoggard. So Jet Howard goes to the free throw line. Coach opts for him to shoot it. The IMG Academy grad is able to knock down both technical free throws. And here Michigan's going to get the ball. Try to take the game's biggest lead. Tom Izzo letting Hoggard know it, as that's a technical foul. Izzo not happy with it whatsoever, letting him. No, that's not what he wants to see. Shedder in the game early for Michigan. Here's Kobe Buffkin. Howard. Jet Howard double teamed up high, leaves it for McDaniel. McDaniel with 10 to shoot. Doug McDaniel screen up high from Dickinson. Dickinson, the lefty tries a 3, and the big man ran it in and out. Defensive rebound, Hauser on the tipped ball. Michigan State looks to push it. Hauser at the tip of that M at center court. Lobs it up. Backing down is Malik Hall. First time we've seen him in the game today. Hall ran into the body of Dickinson, so he kicked it out to Hauser, who drains a 3. Michigan State with their first triple of the day comes in the form of Joey Hauser. I said Adrian Hauser. Joey Hauser. He's already got 5. 3 minutes in. Michigan State with a lot of aggressive defense at the top of the key. Buffkin feeds it to Dickinson. Cross-court pass. Howard, a left wing 3. Too strong off the brick. Or off the back iron. Long rebound comes to Dickinson. And then an offensive foul as Dickinson got it with the moving screen, knocking Sissoko to the ground. And it's an empty possession, even though they got that offensive rebound for Michigan. Dickinson doesn't like the call, but it's definitely the right one. Both these teams, we've seen them with a lot of aggressive defense. Right off the bat, trying to guard those guys up high, get them out of their rhythm, but both teams with a pretty good offensive start. To the corner, nice shot fake and drive, backdoor lay-in. There is Jackson Kohler, the freshman. Getting some playing time in the first 4 minutes. He only averages around 12 minutes per game, that is. We already see him with the first 2 of his day. Dickinson ran into a wall of 2 jerseys. It didn't matter as he was able to get the shot up, but unable to get the finish. So here come the Spartans pushing the floor, but it's in and out of the hands of Akins. And another turnover by Sparty early on. I've said early on a ton already, and something. Yeah, I mean, Dickinson, he's got a great feel. I mean, we've already seen him spin off a few defenders a few times, and I think they do need to get the ball to him more. Howard at the left wing dribbles it. And there is Dickinson. Dickinson to the corner. Buffkin fakes a 3 and drives baseline. Nearly stepped on that out-of-bounds line. Able to stay in, and Howard will try a step-back 3. And that is a thing of beauty. Jet Howard, one-on-one. Step back, pull up, drain it. It's 12-9 Michigan. They're back up 3. Approaching the 15-minute mark of the first half. There's a long 2. That goes down for Tyson Walker. And there's the answer for Michigan State to pull back within 1. Back and forth we go. Trading baskets here at the Chrysler. I had it as Chrysler Center, but the scoreboard says Chrysler Arena. So what do we call it? I think Chrysler Center sounds better. Another step back 3. Same spot. Unable to be hit that time from Howard. And the rebound goes to Michigan State. An alley-oop! And the slam from Malik Hall. The 6'7" senior elevates to slam it home. Michigan State's first lead of the day. Well, they had the game's first points, but their first lead since. Here's McDaniel. Shetter. Right wing Howard. Howard switched on by Hauser. Howard goes to the left hand, right back to McDaniel. McDaniel no look pass. Dickinson, he spins, uses the glass to put it home. Hunter Dickinson, it's 14-13. 2 teams that average right around 70 points per game. Offense coming on early. Hogard. And now Walker. There's Hauser. Fakes the 3 and will reset. Hauser trying to drive on it on Shetter. And a beautiful underhand, kind of an underhand finger roll there. He was in the backboard. I might get another 1-point lead for Michigan State. Wolverines want a timeout. 15-14. Back and forth we go on this Saturday. It's Saturday, right? Yeah, Saturday night. In Ann Arbor. The in-state Michigan rivalry. Delivering. We got a 1-point game. Chrysler Center. Maybe I was reading wrong. Austin says it's Chrysler Center. Maybe I was reading wrong, but I saw something, I think, that said it was the Chrysler Arena. I thought I saw that on the top of the scoreboard, but when I looked it up, it said Chrysler Center. So that's what we're calling it. I think it sounds better. Oh, man, what a start to this game. Isn't it funny how YouTube works? I think, here's what I figured out. So I had 13 people on my stream at this time Thursday. And I'm not saying that it's bad that I don't have that right now. But it's interesting how it works like that. And here's my theory. I think it's because Big Ten Network, some people don't get. So they rely on streams like this to know what's going on in the game. When games like this that are nationally on Fox, maybe that's, but I don't know. And maybe Purdue and Maryland fans just like it more, or I don't know. Second time I've streamed Michigan this year. We're already down to 13:50 to play in the first. So we just keep trading baskets. Hauser's got an early 7 for the Spartans. McDaniel an early 7 for the Wolverines, as they've as Michigan's had scoring spread throughout the board. With Dickinson and Howard getting a few along with McDaniel, and then Walker's also Picked up 4 for Michigan State. So, is the next stoppage going to be the TV timeout? Or is it, since we have this timeout, does it treat as a TV timeout? I always think I know the answer to that, but I always get it backwards. Michigan State, we expected this. Well, I mean, we expected it from both teams. They came out fast. They came out looking to score, and they've both been playing fast. They've been getting back on defense. They haven't been allowing much in transition. And they've been getting to the rim and scoring and not missing their shots, not really missing anything. Michigan State trying to sweep the season series. Won the first meeting, 59-53, but Michigan's been a great team at home all season at 10-4. But they've currently lost 2 straight. So while Michigan State's trying to win their 3rd straight, Michigan's trying to avoid losing their 3rd straight. Yeah, so this says Chrysler Center. I must have just read that wrong. I thought something said arena, but center definitely sounds a lot better. Also, I pick on the weirdest things, but like, I know that they call it maize and blue, but can we just call that yellow? Like, it just said jersey colors. Michigan State green, Michigan maize. Anyway, we're back at it. Here's McDaniel, and he nearly stepped out of bounds. He's able to get the ball out of his hands just in time. Backing down there was Reed. He's able to kick it out to Dickinson, the team's leading scorer and rebounder. Misses the 3 as it rattles in and out. And then Bufkin tries to haul in the rebound, but ends up going over the back of Sissoko. And it's the 2nd foul of the day on the Wolverines. Michigan State ball trying to take their biggest lead today. Here is Hall. Hall swung around. Akins keeps it moving to Hoggard. Hoggard, Hall. Malik Hall. Guarded by Howard closely. Fakes the step back and leaves it for Hoggard at the right wing. Hoggard. One-on-one with McDaniel. Elevates. Fires away. It's no good! And then trying to go up on the rebound for the dunk was Sissoko. He got denied by the rim. Now Howard for Michigan. Howard tried that step back, but he kind of lost the hand. He'll able to regain now as he'll reset things. Bufkin tells Howard to go back door. Bufkin at the right wing drives baseline, and he lays it in with the left hand. Nothing but net. Kobe Bufkin. Michigan up by 1 once again. Akins, top of the key. Hoggard. Hoggard with the left hand. Back to the basket. Trying to back down McDaniel. Hoggard spins and does not get the roll. In and out. Here's Michigan. Trying to make it a 2-score game, maybe with a 3-ball. Howard. Howard loops through and takes it towards the basket. He falls down. Fans want a foul. He ain't going to get it, as I think he just tripped over his own feet. Michigan State in transition. Oh! A one-hand slamma-jamma! He goes up and brings it down. And Michigan State, in very smooth fashion, jumps back out to a 1-point lead. 11:42 to play in the first. Here's McDaniel. Jumper. Knocks it through. Doug McDaniel, what a day for him already. He's got 9. Michigan State trying to catch Michigan sleeping, and they do just that as Hall was fouled by Reed. Going to the basket. That'll be Reed's first, team third. Oh, Malik Hall. A highlight reel dunk. One hand brings it down. But then Doug McDaniel with the long 2 on the other end. Puts Michigan up 1 as we head to the under 12 timeout. I think I'm going to take a break with you as well, as Michigan State, they've been great from long 2 range, which is a really hard shot to make. From 2-point range this season, they've shot over 50%, and that is a good number. Aside from Michigan State's only 47%. And Michigan is one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the country. Michigan State is one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the country at 37%. Michigan not far behind with 35%. But really, neither team has needed the 3 ball yet. But it'll definitely come down to it by the end. Michigan State trying to sweep the season series, but Michigan trying to prevent them from a storybook win. We're going to take a quick break while we're at this under 12 timeout. Don't go anywhere. Well, welcome back to Ann Arbor at the Chrysler Center, where Michigan, the home team, holds a lead, but not a safe one, only up 1. And this back and forth, fast-paced game to this point. In the Big Ten this year, it's really fun to watch because, there's upsets almost every day, it seems like. And it's fast-paced. That Purdue game I did the other night, the first half took 40 minutes. How about that? This one, what time is it? It's 7:28. It's already, I guess it doesn't start till like 7:10. So, we're almost halfway through the half, so not too bad. Hey, next Saturday, look at that, Indiana versus Purdue. Stay tuned for a stream on that. That might be kind of fun. We'll see what we can do on that. Well, both these teams, although Michigan State had the shooting happen to them, had the tragedy happen to them, Michigan's fighting for them just as much as Michigan State is. So, and what better time to have the first game back for Michigan State is obviously they had that one against Minnesota postponed earlier in the week. What better way to come back against your in-state rival? That adds a lot more integrity, a lot more intensity, and gives both teams something to fight for. So, that's where I'm at on it. Michigan yet getting bench points while Michigan State has 6 of them. And it is Spartans basketball. There's Walker. Tyson Walker, top of the key. Dribbles in with the left hand. A little stutter step move around Reed. And he's able to finish with the left hand. Michigan State as we continue to change baskets as Michigan State gets a moving screen. A good acting job, I feel like, there. But nevertheless, it will be the team's 4th foul on Michigan. Terrace Reed. I think he's got his second with that one. I think Michigan State has been the better team early on. I mean, it feels like Michigan's had a lot of the buckets, but Michigan State has quietly been answering on all those, and they've been getting out in transition, which is important in this game with two very fast teams. Hauser, a high arcing three, is too strong off the back iron. Rebound, hauled in by Reed. Here's McDaniel. Doug McDaniel. 5'11 freshman. 9th in the Big Ten in assists. Tries to get one here. He feeds Reed. Shot fake. Spin move. Trying to back down. He does just that, but he missed the layup. Hauls in his own rebound. He missed another layup with 4 green jerseys surrounding him. Back comes Michigan State. Holloman in for the first time. Puts the brakes on. Oh, a wide open backdoor cut and a feed from Akins to Cooper. And Michigan State has a somewhat comfortable 3-point lead as somehow Cooper was able to sneak free. Akins with a good job to get that pass around Reed and dish it in there. And I think they call a foul on that as well. I think they called Baker, who's in the game for the first time. Number 15 for Michigan on a foul. However, the free throw is missed, so it won't matter, and it'll stay a 3-point game. Here's Kobe Bufkin. Bufkin. Direct in traffic. Bufkin moves in with the right hand. Swings it cross court. It's picked off Akins. Akins in transition. Reverses it around. Good ball movement. Right wing Hauser for 3. He's got nothing but the nylon. And Michigan State has their biggest lead today. It's up to 6. As we have officially hit the halfway point here in half number 1. This crowd's starting to go quiet as Hauser's already in double digits. Joey Hauser, Marquette transfer. He's an interesting story. Redshirted his first year at Michigan in 2019 after coming over from Marquette, where he was only at for 1 season. Michigan misses a 3-pointer. And now State with a great chance to take an even bigger lead. Holloman. And now Walker. Walker lobs it for Hauser. Hauser to Walker again. Walker, he's got 10 to shoot. Gets a screen and will try a 3. No! The rebound's just out of the reach of Cooper. Michigan in transition. Dickinson fakes a 3 and tries to step back. Knocked down. And that was actually Joey Baker able to pound that one home. It's a 3-point game as Michigan answers with a 3 of their own. Joey Baker's got his first points of the day. And now a little kind of a settled shot there from Akins. A long step back 2. Not there. Akins kind of an underrated player. He's got almost 10 points per game. And there's another underrated player. Doug McDaniel. He moves in with the floater and makes it a 1-point deficit for Michigan. Getting that crowd right back in it. McDaniel's already got 11. Student section jumping around. Holloman. Hauser. Joey Hauser looking for somewhere to go with the ball. He's down to 6 on the shot clock. Hauser. Holloman. 3. He has to just put it up on the step back. And that is the thing of beauty. With the shot clock expiring, Trey Holloman goes one-on-one on the baseline. Step back. The freshman out of Minneapolis. He's the 75th ranked freshman in the nation out of last year's class, or this year's class, I should say. He's only got 1.2 per game. They're relying on him tonight as that was Reed trying to go through 3 Michigan State defenders. He got stripped of the ball. It's loose on the floor. A few guys go diving in for it, and Tom Izzo likes that effort from his defense as it will be jump ball to Michigan. It'll stay on the right side of the floor. Well, we're going to another TV timeout. This is going to be the under 8. We got 7:34 to play in the first. Oh, it's a fun one. The good old in-state rivalry. The Michigan rivalry. One of the best in college sports. Delivering early on. As it is Sparty with the 3-point lead. As we take another break. It will be Michigan ball as coming out of the break. This game sure is delivering. Almost 35 minutes into the stream. We'll be back in a few minutes. State up 3, but Michigan right on their tail. Well, as we return from the other 8 timeout here in half number 1, got a great ball game. Michigan State, the team with everything in the world to play for, delivering early on. They've been able to knock down a few long jumpers, a few of their 3 balls. They've also been able to deliver when they get inside the paint as well. While Michigan, a fast start, they've slowed down since. They haven't been able to get as much ball movement. A few costly turnovers have led to Michigan State points. So they have to clean that up here in the dimming minutes of half number 1. Now, I'm not usually one to sit down during a broadcast, but today I just got done rollerblading for 2 hours, so I'm pretty exhausted. But at least tomorrow's Sunday, okay? That's where I'm at. Well, I'm loving this game. It's fast-paced. We're getting offense. We're getting some strong defense as well. Not any ticky-tacky fouls. So I'm liking it. Out of the break here, it is Michigan ball after that. What do you call it? Jump ball. Possession error now goes over to Michigan State. Bufkin inbound. Actually, they still have it for Michigan. Bufkin's got to put it up as with 2 on the shot clock, and he didn't even hit the rim. However, the rebound is safely secured by Kohler, so they don't need to blow the whistle dead for a shot clock violation. And now here is Hoggard. Dickinson fell for a moment, but he's able to get back on his feet, back to guarding Kohler. Here's Hoggard. Directs traffic up high with 15 to shoot. Kohler, Walker, Hauser, Hoggard, Hall all on the floor for Michigan State. Hand it off. Driving in. Kicking it back out to Hall. And it rings around, but stays out on the 3 attempt from Malik Hall, who's a 40% three-point shooter, one of the best in the nation. There's somebody who's not as great from behind the arc. That is Will Shetter. Can't knock that one down from the corner. Malik Hall will try a fadeaway 2 this time, and he's got that one. Malik Hall, ladies and gentlemen, he's back after missing 11 games this season, kind of near the middle to beginning part of the year. Michigan State back up 5. Hall's already got 6, and he got a foul off the ball on the defense there. So it'll only be Michigan State's team second. Nice little playmaking ability there from Malik Hall. He's able to split 2 Michigan defenders, and instead of trying to go in on the big 7-1 body of Dickinson, he opted to just back out and try to fade away that he's capable to knock down. McDaniel inbounded underneath the basket here. It's a high lob for Howard, who we see back on the floor. Let's go Michigan Chan over the Chrysler Center. McDaniel, Dickinson. Dickinson, McDaniel, right back to Dickinson, who is being wrapped around by Kohler. That's just about as obvious as a foul as you will get as Kohler gets his right arm right in there. Michigan gets another possession. There's a quick inbound Shetter, and he shot the wide open layup off the side of the basket. Michigan State in transition. Hoggard Hauser, right wing 3. That's his spot, but he couldn't hit it that time. We're 14 minutes into the first half. Michigan's back on it. McDaniel to Dickinson. Shetter down low, and he traveled. That was a bullet from Dickinson right to Shetter, but he got too jittery on those feet, and it's a travel. Dickinson, he's had his share of games where he struggled, especially off of games. And here, he just scored 26 points the other night against Ohio State. Since, he's gotten right around the 15 mark a few in a row. And, I mean, even early in the season, when I did this other stream, one note that I had is he had a rough game against Lipscomb. He had to get a good game coming back against North Carolina. He wasn't able to get that game as UNC was able to take that one at that neutral site. I mean, North Carolina, not an easy team to play, but you know what I'm getting at. It's Michigan ball. Here's Bufkin. Bufkin double teamed up high. He's able to kind of evade it somewhat. A little loose dribble. He's able to corral it once more. McDaniel would tend to shoot. They haven't made a field goal since about 3.5 minutes ago. Bufkin, between the leg dribble. Beautiful shot fake, and it gets the roll. Kobe Bufkin makes it a 1-score game, and that's a nice single-handed effort. Hauser at the right wing. Juwan Howard wants to travel. He ain't going to get it. Howard backing in on Howard. And now Hoggard. Hoggard slowing up. Hall, a 3. Oh, man. Malik Hall with a hand in his face. Knocks it down from long range. Michigan State shoots are almost 40% as a team, and that is one of their strong suits. Looking to get to 9-6 in the Big Ten, 17-9 overall. They're in a good spot with a nice 6-point lead. And here, Hunter Dickinson travels. Michigan, the turnovers have been killing them here early on. I'll look at halftime, but I'm interested to see how many turnovers they got. I'll look right now, actually. Michigan's already got 6 turnovers. I know 2 of them have come in the form of travels, and those are all in like the last minute or so. Hauser, atop of the key 3. That would have been a big one to really grab some momentum, but it's a long rebound to Hall. Now a nice behind-the-back dribble, and the lay-in for Tyson Walker. Michigan State, I tell you, they have some playmakers. They're able to make something out of nothing, and there we see Walker go behind the back, split 2 yellow jerseys, maize jerseys, and get the nice left-hand lay-in finish. 3:45 to go in the first. A telegraph pass nearly picked off, and McDaniel's right foot, clear as day, stepped over the center court line. It's an over and back violation. In Michigan, everything's going bad, from bad to worse. It's Michigan State basketball when we come back. It's the under 4 timeout. Sparty looking good, up 8. Juwan Howard trying to get his guys back in this game. They need to climb out of a hole, trailing down, 3 scores? Yes. Down 3 scores as we're at the under 4 timeout. Catch you all in a moment. We'll be right back. Michigan State holding on to a lead, and it's their ball right after this. well, after the final media timeout of the first half, we're right back with you here. Looking at a 8-point Michigan State lead. They've really dominated the last 10 minutes or so of this half. After, I think, Michigan, they started the game they wanted to. They started fast. Their defense was able to kind of stop some transition opportunities for Michigan State. But since we have not seen that same Michigan team, they need to make some adjustments down the stretch of the first half here before they head into the locker room and couldn't really make a lot of the needed adjustments. Yep. And Michigan State, unlike Michigan, is getting production from their top producers. Malik Hall's made a big few threes. It's really been Joey Hauser, the guy. Hoggard's somebody they really could get going for Michigan State. But other than that, I think it's going to plan for these two teams. As we've only seen Hoggard pick up. Sorry, this is a weird chart I'm looking at here. Hoggard hasn't gotten any points. Akins also hasn't had any points. Sissoko hasn't had any points. So Michigan State, I mean, they can still get production for many guys out there. But, I mean, they've had a few bench points. We've got 9 off the bench from Hall. And every other bench player has 2 points. So the depth of Michigan State on display so far tonight, why Michigan is still, well, they've only got 3 bench points in the form of Joey Baker. That 1-3 he made a few minutes ago. Michigan State ball, Hoggard, who starts things off. Hoggard trying to beat Bufkin to the rim, and instead he ended up on his backside. Michigan State turnover, a rarity so far today. Here's Bufkin. He wanted Dickinson, but Dickinson was nicely guarded by Hoggard. This time it's Dickinson from McDaniel. Right back to Bufkin. That's a big 3. Michigan State. Michigan State's lead is cut to 5. I can't get the state and the non-state figured out. Here's Malik Hall from his spot. He left it way short, nearly airballed. Michigan, this is a big possession. They need points. Here's Bufkin driving right in. He traveled. Fans all want a foul. I think it was a foul that forced him to travel, but that's not the call on the court. And instead, possession will head right back to the Spartans. 5 with trying to extend this 5-point lead. So we're now inside 3 minutes to play. Right wing Walker. There's Hauser. Walker fakes the 3 and drives in on Dickinson. Kicks it back out. Now Hoggard. Walker elevates it over Dickinson, but missed it. McDaniel up the floor. Now Howard. Like hot potato. They're just getting it out of their hands very quick, and then that results in a foul on Sissoko. So Sissoko pointless. He still has picked up his first foul. That's only the 4th on Michigan State, however. Leading scorer for Michigan is Doug McDaniel with 11. And Michigan will use one of their use it or lose it timeouts. I mean, with 2:26 to go in the first half, why not? They'll have 2 remaining. Michigan, an interesting story. They were ranked 22 in the AP preseason poll. We thought they maybe had a team close to one that made a deep tournament run a few years ago. I mean, Michigan, they can always be one of those teams that has a great chance to go far in the tournament. And if they can pick a few wins here, they'll put themselves in a good speed, somewhat good speed, a good spot. They're going to need it. Michigan State, a good 16-9. They're a team, if they can get hot, if they can make their shots, if they can play lockdown defense in the postseason, it'll go a long way for them. There you go. Nobody in the game with 2 fouls yet. Quite a few guys with 1. 5 guys for 1 on Michigan, 4 with 1 for Michigan State. 2:26 to go in the half. Here's McDaniel, swings around for Buffkin. He nearly traveled again. Instead, it's back to McDaniel. McDaniel trying to sneak around Sissoko. He did as he got the edge, but instead gives it to Buffkin. He takes the 3. It takes 2 hops off the rim and bounces down into the arms of Akins. 2 to play in the first half. 20 to shoot. Walker. Tyson Walker. Malik Hall fakes the 3 and beats Reed to the basket, but Reed got his hands too far out in front as he fouls Hall, which might have saved 2 points, but it will be Reed's second. Lobbed up. It's a bad pass. Oh, a horrible inbound pass, or maybe it was just good defense from Reed, but they tried to fit that into a tight window on Sissoko. Reed stuck his hand in there. And I mean, it was in the corner anyway, so not a great place to catch the ball, even if he would have been able, even if he would have been able to haul it in. So now Michigan looks to make it a 1-score game. Howard, I should say. Howard, McDaniel ran into a wall of 2 jerseys, so it goes to the corner. Buffkin backdoor through contact. Hunter Dickinson lays it in, and he'll go to the line for a chance to make it a 2-point game. He was kind of locked up with Sissoko that whole possession, and then Sissoko tries to go over on the help defense for Buffkin. It leaves Dickinson wide open. The great court vision of Buffkin. He's able to knock it to him on the 1 hop. And then Dickinson, strong body, the Alexandria, Virginia native, puts it home. Big resume for Dickinson. He hits that free throw. 2022 All Big Ten. He's 5th this season in points in the Big Ten. He's on the preseason Wooden watch list. We haven't seen him live up to that caliber yet, but there's still time. Oh, this is a tough angle. Here's Akins. Hauser, top of the key, surveys and gives it to Hall. Hall left wing, and then heavily guards Sissoko. Was able to haul that in as Dickinson applied some nice pressure. Akins drives baseline and will swing it up high. Hall, he's fouled, and he made it. I guess they didn't call the foul. He ended up on the floor. Might have just been a flop, but that is beauty from Malik Hall, who's been able to finish through contact all game, and he's been able to make some clutch threes. There, it's one to put the momentum back on Sparty's side. There's a tipped pass. Dickinson will keep it in bounds. Dickinson, backdoor Reed, touches it for Howard, a corner 3. No answer, and Buffkin stepped on the baseline. Basketball to Michigan State, and they will have 33 seconds, so there'll be 3 seconds separating game and shot clock. Michigan State up by 5. Yeah, the scoreboard says Chrysler Arena. I just verified that. Oh, no, they actually did give this ball to Michigan. Looked like it was going to be Michigan State's. They did give it to Michigan. Dickinson double team, so he gives it to McDaniel, left wing 3. Short, rebound up for grabs. Grabbed by Buffkin, reverse layup. He touches it home. Kobe Buffkin, he's starting to heat up. And it'll be a timeout, Michigan State. Another one of those use it or lose it. They had 4, so now they'll be down to 3. And it is a 3-point game. All of a sudden, Michigan is just hanging around. They've been able to pick up some clutch baskets here. Few threes, few twos. And all of a sudden, it's back to a 1-score game. Michigan State can hold for the final shot with 15.8 to work with. Right now, Michigan is not in the tournament. Interesting. One guy that is not on the game day roster for Michigan is Jalen Llewellyn. Princeton transfer, 2022 All-Ivy First team All-Ivy, I should say. Big piece Michigan's missing. But, I mean, they've hung on pretty well. 15.8 to go. Here we go. Hauser. To inbound, and he gets it easily into Hogard. Hogard looks like he wants to go one-on-one. Staring in the eyes of Bufkin. Hogard to the left wing. 6 to work with. Hogard. Crossover on Bufkin. Corner wide open. 3 Hall. But he missed it wide left in the first half. Comes to an end. Oh, it was as entertaining as ever. The battle for Michigan. The battle for the state of Michigan. Trying to bring some joy and light into the state after the tragedy on the campus of Michigan State earlier this week. It was a great first half. We went back and forth for the first few minutes. Michigan State was able to control it for quite a bit there, though. But Michigan is just hanging around at home. Spartan Strong going around the Chrysler Center tonight. And it has been Spartan Strong for most of that first half, but we've seen Wolverine Strong those first few minutes. Being able to fight back and at least make it a one-score game going to half. It will be Spartan ball coming out of the break. Speaking of break, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in a minute. More like 10 minutes or so before we break down the first half, lead you into the second half. Michigan State up 36-33. Oh, it's going to be a fun second half. You're going to want to stick around. Spartans, Wolverines from the Chrysler Center in Ann Arbor. The battle for Michigan going well, but it is the Spartans up a possession at the end of one. Second half coming up in about 10 to 15 minutes. I'll be back for a first half recap and a second half preview. Don't go anywhere because we're coming back right after this. Hey, welcome back. We're about ready for half number 2, and when I say about ready, I mean we're ready in like 13 minutes, but I enjoyed the first half. I mean, I think it's very similar to the game I did, the other night. That game being Purdue and Maryland. Jeez. Couldn't even get that straight. But I mean, Maryland ended up taking that one against then-ranked third Purdue. I think it'll be very different when we see it coming up this Monday. But the game started fast. The first half took 40 minutes. This one was about 55 minutes or so. I enjoy games where we don't see a ton of ticky-tacky fouls called. Well, we only had 12 fouls called total in that first half. I like that. Too many teams there weren't too many teams at the free throw line. But I liked it. And I think that both these teams are living up to their names. They're scoring, and they're also giving up a lot of points as well, which we've seen. Both teams give up almost as many points as they score on average. So that's interesting. They're also two very good field goal shooting percentage teams, which is important. I mean, if you're going to want to score that many points. They're both very good at rebounding. There's been some nice fights for the balls. A few have turned out to rebounds. Michigan State, they're a really good passing team. I mentioned earlier, they have a lot of guys that are very creative. They can make plays out of nothing. One of those guys, big Zach Malik Hall. Akins has a few nice plays as well in there. And Michigan State, one of the best three-point shooting teams in the country as well. On display tonight, Hauser. He's got 10 total. I think he's made 2 or 3 threes out of that. Big piece for Michigan State. Has delivered so far. But here's what my issue is for Michigan. Let's turn to them here for a minute. My issue with them is between their 2 top scorers, in Dickinson and Jet Howard, they've only got 10 combined points. They've each got 5. I mean, you can't have your two best scorers performing like that if you're going to want to have success, if they are able to find the way to make it to the tournament. If you want to be able to knock off a team as high caliber defensively as Michigan State. So they've got to find a groove. I think what Michigan did best in that half to get in that groove that I'm talking about is they had quite a few times where they were able to score off nice ball movement when they were getting in close. A few times they would just settle for a few step backs. Now, Howard knocked down a few of those. McDaniel knocked down a few of those. But if you want to win this game, if it's going to be close at the end, if you want it to be competitive, then I think you're going to need to have it. Where was I even going with? You're going to need to have your top guys deliver on big stages such as this. So that's where I'm at. But I'm liking the game. I think Michigan's right with it. They're right in it. They need a fast start coming out of the break, and they need to force turnovers. They need to play sharp defense, and they need to be able to knock down the key shots, hit their layups on the other end. And they need to be able to move the ball, because I think that's when they found their success in that first half. Also, Dickinson, I mean, he hasn't been himself. I mentioned this. He's had a few good games as of late, but he hasn't really been able to just put together a few good games in a row. And he hasn't been able this season to be the difference in games. Like we see a lot of star players now be difference in games. We haven't seen that on a regular basis from Hunter Dickinson. They're going to need it here in the second half. Last season's all Big Ten. He's 5th in the Big Ten in points. So it's not like he's not scoring. He just hasn't done it necessarily on that consistent of a basis all the time. One guy they are missing, though, is Jalen Llewellyn. It's Michigan State. That's a tough guy to lose. Princeton transfer, I mean, He's a good player. He's only played 8 games this season. And he hasn't played since December 4th. Oh, he hasn't played since December 4th. I guess I didn't look at his game log earlier. Oh, well. So he didn't even play in that stream I did against North Carolina. Oh, well. One thing that I always find interesting, and I like to point this out because it's an easy fact to find. Well, actually, 2 of them. Freshmen ranked inside the top 100. There's a wide variety. In this case, we see let's go through a few. Pierre Brooks for Michigan State. He averages 4.3 per game. We haven't seen him out there today. We won't see him out there today because he's not on the game day roster. And he hasn't been out there as much as a 56th ranked freshman would be. Jackson Kohler, he's only been on the floor for about 1 possession today. Jaden Akins, big part for Michigan State. Same with Trey Holloman. He's been out there a few times. Joey Hauser, 57th in 2018. AJ Hogard, 70th in 2020. Big piece. Sissoko and Hall, all big pieces. But now to Michigan. Doug McDaniel, Dickinson, Bufkin, big pieces. Williams, kind of the backup big guy. Not on the game day roster today. Jet Howard, obviously. Joey Baker and Terrace Reed, obviously. But what? Half those guys average only like 2 or 3 points per game. Half those guys aren't even on the roster today. Half those guys haven't played today. So there's a fine line between those freshmen that you know are ready, and then there's some that aren't ready. So I find that interesting, but nothing wrong with it. And also, here's the other thing. In-state recruits. Now, as an Illinois fan, I only bring this up because that's something that the University of Illinois needs more of in every sport. In-state recruits. Here, obviously, Michigan's very tough. I mean, you got Central Michigan, you got Michigan State, you got Michigan. All of these teams, it's a very tough state to try to pick a school to go to. And I mean, you're right by Ohio. You're right by Indiana. You're right by Illinois. You're right by Wisconsin. All programs with very good sports. The Midwest has very good sports, college-wise. So it's kind of tough to choose when you're up here. But for those who go to Michigan, I mean, on Michigan, they've only got 1 in-state recruit. Michigan State only has 4. I always find it fascinating. Big crowd here at Chrysler Center tonight. Michigan trying to get their 15th win of the season. Trying to move to 15-12. They're going to do it in comeback fashion, though, as they currently trail only by 3, as we're seconds away to get going from the second half in Ann Arbor. I mean, it's hard to defend. I was talking about kind of Michigan's defense, how they need to step it up on the defensive end. Now, there's a lot you can do to prevent threes, a lot you can prevent to do step backs, but sometimes there's nothing you can do. And when we got a guy, let's use this in Michigan State's case, like a guy like Doug McDaniels picking off passes, who's able to just make creative drives, creative step backs, and all of these creative plays. It's not easy to defend against, and sometimes you can't do anything about that. So as much as they need to, much as both these teams are going to have some lockdown D, they're also just going to have to sometimes settle with trading baskets a few possessions in a row because there are many creative players, many playmakers on this floor tonight. Doug McDaniel leads all scorers tonight with 11. He's followed up by Hauser of Michigan State and then Bufkin of Michigan. We're underway in half number 2, and here's Hauser right away. He tries a 3, but he missed it short. However, he was fouled. Joey Hauser fouled on the 3 ball. He's heading to the line to shoot 3. Yep, his toes are very easily behind the line, and he gets very clearly bumped into by Shetter, who starts the second half. These teams trying to find their groove. They've both gone 3-2 in their last 5, as Michigan State is a 74% free throw shooting team. Able to get Hauser to hit that first one. Second one, same story. It's 38-33. Michigan State has opened the scoring in half number 2. Spartans coming off a win at Ohio State, a dominant win. Michigan's already 8 points away from scoring as many points as Ohio State did. And that game was at Ohio State. Never an easy environment as well. No environment in the Big Ten is easy. Michigan State able to control it with a 62-41 big win. While Michigan's lost 2 straight, the latest one at Wisconsin, 59-64, as I mentioned earlier. Michigan State goes back home after this one against a very tricky Indiana team who pulled off the win against Illinois today. While Michigan will head into a very difficult building against Rutgers, who have cooled down after a hot stretch there for a bit. But still a very good team. Underneath the basket, Bufkin will inbound it to Dickinson. He's surrounded by 2 green jerseys, so returns to the feed for Bufkin. A corner 3. Knocked down. It's a 3-point game. Michigan State trying to catch the Wolverines sleeping, but they just aren't doing it. Hoggard. Hauser handed right back off Walker. Walker to Hoggard at the left wing. A screen. Hoggard works off of it, and a 3 ball from Akins all the way around the rim. It had to go around there about 3 times before it decided to hop out. Michigan can tie the game. Jet Howard trying to do just that. A minute 10 in. Howard. It's a blocking foul on Sissoko, and he did not like that call, but I think it was the right one. First foul in Michigan State of the half. McDaniel. Backdoor Dickinson. He's able to haul it in with 1 hand, elevate with 2 hands, and put her home. Race the roof, Hunter Dickinson. He's made it a 1-point deficit out of nowhere. Michigan's doing just what I said. They're starting the half fast, and they're playing some good defense. But there's an open look from Walker, but he missed it. Rebound, McDaniel. He's able to save it from going out of bounds. Here come the Wolverines, trying to take their first lead in quite some time. McDaniel lost the handle, but's able to corral it again. Dickinson, Howard. Howard top of the key, 1-hand shove over to Bufkin. Bufkin high lob. Dickinson swings it over McDaniel. Howard for 3. Oh, no, it didn't even catch a piece of the rim. Shot clock was near expiring, so he had to check it up. Here's Hoggard. Hoggard corner, open look, Akins. That's a big 3 to cut the Michigan run and put Sparty back up 4. Oh, what a fast start to the second half. But a big bucket coming up by Jaden Atkins. Great defender, but there we see him getting going on the offensive end. He's got over 1 steal per game. So very active hands on the defensive end. And there you see him trying to jump out to cut the route of McDaniel, but ultimately peeled off at the end. There is McDaniel finding Shetter. He's got the answer. Will Shetter, the 6'8" sophomore, knocks down a 3. Not every 6th guy in the nation can do it as confidently as Will Shetter appeared to do it there. Does Michigan State have another answer of their own? Yes, they do. Taking it right towards the bucket is Hoggard. Oh, this is a fun second half. Add 2 more to Michigan State's total. It's 44-41. A.J. Hoggard, he's 6th in the Big Ten in free throw percentage. He could have attempted one there. He got hit by 2 guys, but they opted not to call it. Hoggard has not scored more than 10 points since November 29th, and that was at Purdue. Those were his first 2 of the day. McDaniel to the corner. Open look, Howard for 3. It was too short. Long rebound hauled in by Hoggard. There he is. And now in transition, Akins rejected Howard. He came flying out of nowhere to put it right back in the face of Jaden Akins. Jett Howard, the IMG Academy grad, youngest of the Howard boys, looking like the oldest there. Showing his size, coming out of nowhere. Oh, what awareness by Hall to spin off of Bufkin, who ultimately had to foul him to save 2 points. Just the start we were looking for in the second half. This is fun. We got a foul off the ball before it could even be inbounded, and I think they got Shetter again there. Yeah, that's going to be Will Shetter's second foul, both coming here in the half. Michigan State gets another try to inbound it. It's quickly in Walker for 3, and he just has not been able to find his groove. Tyson Walker, he's only got 8, which, I mean, it's a lot in this game where really a lot of the stars have not been able to find a groove whatsoever, as it's batted out of bounds here by Hall. Ball belongs to Michigan. Bufkin, quick inbound, McDaniel. He's been out there a lot. As McDaniel, I mean, he plays over 30 minutes per game. Here's Bufkin driving baseline. He got bumped. No foul. Able to swing it out to McDaniel. He's hit that floater a few times today. Not there. And we got a foul on Bufkin as he was going up for the rebound. Ended up catching the arm of a Spartan player. And that will drive us right in to the under 16 timeout. A questionable call there to end that little stretch, but a beautiful start to the second half. Both teams trading buckets, a few big threes, a few posterous dunks. And it's an entertaining start to the second half. Leading us into a under 16 television timeout. We've got 15:46 to play. Michigan State on the road up 3. Michigan not far behind. They are just holding on by the tip of their teeth. We are going to break under 16. Back in a short second right after this. Michigan State back at the first game after that tragedy that unfolded on Monday night at the campus. Excuse me. I got their game postponed earlier this week against Minnesota. They're back on the floor. Their in-state rival on the road in Michigan. Or at Michigan. I mean, you know, Michigan University, because they're both from the state of Michigan. Don't get confused there. They're trying to sweep the season series against the Wolverines. They won the first meeting 59-53, and we're almost there score-wise already. So a heavy offensive game. And And I think it's going to be the team that can get stops down the stretch. And I think trading baskets favors Michigan State. I think a few lockdown possessions, and then but yeah. $15:46 still to play in a fast-paced, high-scoring, energetic game to this point. Michigan State trying to move to 17-9. They're set 6th in the Big Ten at 8-6 in conference. Michigan 8-7 in conference, 8th in the Big Ten, 14-12 overall. 44-41, Michigan State ball. There's Hoggard, backdoor, and then that was a foul on Howard there. He was trying to prevent Kohler. Good to see him back on the floor after taking a bit of a break there since the end of the first half. That's Jet Howard's second personal. We're yet to see his brother Jace come into this game, as there's a nice backdoor feed, and then the reverse layup by Jackson Kohler, who pushes Michigan State's lead back out to 5. They won't go away. Michigan won't go away. But, I mean, they just have not been able to get a few big stops and a few big buckets to take at least the lead or tie this game and really get the crowd back into this one. Here's McDaniel. Up high, it's Dickinson. Refusing to use his dribble, and then he tried to fit it into a tight window with Bufkin, who was tripped up by Hoggard. Foul is called. Exactly 5 minutes into the second. 5 to go. Inbound corner, quick pop Howard. He missed the 3. Oh, what a rebound, Shetter! And he walks in but missed the layup as well. Heavily contested. Great rebound, Howard. He's played a sharp second half, but he just has not been able to hit his shots. Oh, Dickinson wide open on the back door. Missed the layup too strong. He missed the putback. Missed another putback. Got his own rebound. Missed a layup. And there's Howard on the putback with an and one. What a crazy sequence. 1, 2, 3. Rebound. 4. And then the 5th try goes. Dickinson got 4 attempts. 2 layups, 2 putbacks. Then Howard finally said this is enough. He came flying from the top of the key and tapped it in. And now Michigan, who shoots 69% from the free throw line as a team, not sharp whatsoever, but they've been decent tonight. And there's a nice job from Howard to knock that one down. And he leads, and he's got 8. Hoggard. Right elbow. Akins back to Hoggard, top of the key. Guarded by Dickinson. Hoggard. And that was some miscommunication there. He thought Kohler was zagging. He was zigging. And it's out of bounds. A Michigan State turnover. It goes to the Wolverines, as they now, with a 3-ball, could take the lead for the first time, dating back all the way to the middle part of the first half, as that's going to be Michigan State's 5th turnover. Michigan's got 8, and here the Spartans commit a foul. Let's see who they got on that one. Let's check it into the game with Sissoko. 80 Sissoko. He got 0 points, 2 fouls. I don't know how he's going to remember, but he still can. There's still plenty of time. McDaniel. Whoa, that pass was over Dickinson. However, Howard is able to run in and get it. And oh no! Oh no! He makes the bucket, but Jett Howard is in some serious pain. Holding his ankle, sprawling around on the floor. The game is tied, but we might have a whole lot bigger issue on our hands. Looks like his right leg. The inbound sails over Dickinson. Howard at the free throw line. Oh my gosh! Whoa! Pardon my reaction, but that's as gruesome as it gets. He comes on his right. Oh! Stop showing it, Fox. Holy cow. Either that's just a stinger or he broke something in his ankle. And it looks like it's something that is not a stinger, as he cannot even stop holding it on the bench. As Michigan's coach's son, in the pain of his life. And they just lost to their player who's probably been the best player in the second half for this team. It's 46-46. We're back underway 6 minutes into the second half. 14 to play. Malik Hall. Top of the key, Hall. Hall able to generate some space and walk right in with a layup. And Michigan State answers the bell again to respond and jump out in front once more. It's a 2-point lead, 48-46. 13:45 to play. Hall's got 14 tonight. That's already 6 over his average. Here's Dickinson. The team's leading scorer tried to force a pass. Picked off, running the floor. Akins! Sports Center top 10! Here comes Jaden Akins! Are you kidding me? He goes over 2 yellow jerseys. A left-hand flush. One of the best you will see. Put that baby on the poster. Michigan going for the answer. Again, they have it. Joey Baker, been quiet all day. He hasn't been on the floor all that much. They put him out there, and he does a nice job to get some points. He's got 5. Oh, baby. Jaden Akins. Walker trying to cross up. Shetter, it wasn't there. Hauser moves in with the right hand. Oh, a beautiful stutter step move, but he got rejected. Baker fell down, but he was able to get back in the play to deny Hauser, who thought he had an open layup. McDaniel. Doug McDaniel, some fancy dribbling. And all it results is him getting trapped in the left wing. He's got 16 to shoot. Looking for somewhere to go with the ball. There's really nothing. So he gets a screen, goes with the right hand, feeds the right wing. Darting in a Shetter, and he jumps over Hauser to lay it in. And we are back to a tie ball game, 50 all. Fans jumping around, 50 apiece, as Shetter now has 5. There's Akins. Akins, Hauser. Joey Hauser, along 2. It rattles in and out, and Michigan, no. A foul is called. We are going to an under 12 timeout. I didn't see who they got that foul on, if it was on Michigan or on Michigan State. Let's see here. They called it on Dickinson for a hold down low. So it's Michigan State's ball coming out of the break. Under 12 timeout. Oh, Michigan State's bench can't believe that Akins dunked just as much as I can't believe it. 50 apiece as we are going to the under 12 timeout in half number 2. Back and forth action. Fast-paced action. The second half. This game living up to the hype. Michigan State, Michigan. The in-state rivalry. All knotted up. 50 apiece. Under 12 timeout, half number 2. We're back in a moment. Hey, welcome back. It's a ball game with 12 minutes to play. Michigan State. Everything in the world to play for after that Monday shooting on campus that killed 3 people. They're tied up with Michigan, who has not gone away. Michigan has not led forever. But they're just hanging around. They're trading baskets when they need to. They played some nice, good defense in the second half, not letting any deficit get out of control. And that's just what Michigan State needed. Or Michigan needed. And Michigan State, they're going to need to hit a few more shots. They're going to be able to keep getting to the rim, get it to their playmakers, and this is the game that they should win. But just because they should win doesn't mean they are going to win. Words of a genius. Almost a minute, an hour 40 into the stream. We are 28 minutes into this game. 12 remain. Quick inbound. There's Walker. Walker tried to fit it to Sissoko. It wasn't there. He pulled it back, and now it's over to Hoggard. And now a nice backdoor fade, and then rattling the rim with his first points of the game are Armani Sissoko. That's the way to get on the scoreboard today. Go up with 2 hands, bring it right on down. It's 52-50. McDaniel darts in with the right hand, pulls up and tries a long jumper with the right leg popping out. He's able to knock it down. It's a tie game once more. There's the answer. Michigan's had it this entire half, and they had it late in that first half when they really needed it to stay in this game. There's some great defense by Dickinson, but then he wasn't able to deny that opportunity from Akins, who goes up with the left hand and finishes from about 10 feet out. 54-52. 11 minutes to go. McDaniel stutter step to get in, and he is fouled going up. Doug McDaniel the line to shoot to a bad free throw shooting team in Michigan, but they're going to need to hit him down the road in this close game. McDaniel, I mean, he ain't too bad of a free throw shooter. McDaniel, I mean, he's a great teammate. He's 9th in the Big Ten in assists, just what you want. He's a creative passer. He's a creative playmaker. And we've seen him do that today as well. But, I mean, he's got 4 assists, averages 3.5 per game as he makes both those free throws to tie the game. But he's also able to score at the same time, and I think he's one of the most underrated players in the Big Ten, if not the nation. If we're going out on a line there. Michigan slows things up. Hoggard trying to move Hauser. He wants him to go back door. Hoggard, nice screen to Sissoko. Hoggard from the free throw line. Another long 2-point jumper. This time in the form of A.J. Hoggard. He's got only his 4th point of the day. As Michigan State's done a good job of knocking down some of the hardest shots in basketball. Those are the long 2-point jumpers. As that one swatted out of bounds by Hoggard there. Last matchup against Michigan State. This is an interesting fact. McDaniel scored 0 points. And he only took 4 shots. Today, he's got 15 points. And he's got the ball here. Powering it with the left hand. He pulls up, shoots. He got hit, and he's fouled. Heading to the line to shoot 2 more with another chance to tie it is Doug McDaniel, trying to get points 16 and 17 on the day. As we are 3 seconds away from the halfway point of the basketball game. Or the halfway point of half number 2. Some big free throws here. just over 10 minutes to play. First one doesn't even move the net. And not because it was an air ball. Because such a beautiful shot. This is the tie. No! He missed it wide right, and it rattles into the hands of Sissoko. Michigan State tries to power on in. But then Hogard wanted to slow it up. It's handed off to Walker. Akins. Screen from Sissoko. Akins lobs it up. Sissoko able to go up and get it. And then he got whacked by Shetter. His head comes down to hit the floor. But it looks like Sissoko is going to be okay. And he was fouled. I don't know if we call it a shooting foul or not. There's that creative playmaking ability from Akins. Lobbing it up. I mean, it wasn't a perfect lob. Whoa. Sissoko didn't get hit from Shetter. His leg he just fell really awkwardly on that leg, but he's all right, and he will shoot the free throws as it was a shooting foul. Sissoko's only got 2 on the day on 2 attempted shots. He's have 2 rebounds to go along with it. Michigan State around 75% as a free throw shooting team. And, yep, there's how it goes. Sissoko knocks down the first one. He's got only 3 points today. Leading scorer of the game, Doug McDaniel with 16. He's followed up by Malik Hall, who's quietly got 14 for Michigan State. He's also followed up by Hauser, who's got 13. Both free throws good. A 3-point game with 58-55 to go. Shetter. Dickinson off the floor, taking a bit of a break. McDaniel's still out there. He's been out there almost every second today. Averages about 31 minutes per game. Here's McDaniel. Shetter. Spins! Oh, baby! Shetter is going to get a goaltending call, and those 2 points are going to count. That was beautiful from the big guy. 6'8", 230. He's still nimble, and he can move. Look at that. Sissoko went up and goaltended that baby. Shetter, I mean, he's actually been an influence in this game. He's got 7. That's about 5 above a season average, 2.6 per game. But he just kind of drove in and then spun without traveling, and he's able to, would have been a lay-in if it weren't goaltending. I like that little Shetter guy. Great backup to a big guy, especially when you don't have Terrence Williams, who also is capable of being a backup when needed for Dickinson. Oh my, that's nothing but beauty. AJ Hogard, he's got 6, and the team has 60. That's already 1 point above how many they had last time when they played against Michigan, and Michigan's already got 4 above how many points they had last time they played Michigan State. Bufkin, in with the left hand, kick McDaniel. A game-tying 3. Too strong, huge rebound, Reed, and he's fouled. Adrian Hauser called for the foul. A big rebound from Reed, who's also a guy that's capable to be a backup for Dickinson when he's not on the floor. I mean, this is a team that I said they've got a lot of size. There's only 3 guys on the roster that are not at least 6'5". And it's Michigan basketball here. Austin the Sportsman's back on. Or Chicago Hoosier, Austin. Can't get name changes straight. So here's something interesting. Both teams are already in the bonus. I guess I haven't updated my fouls in a while. The front end of the 1-and-1 from Reed, no good. There's already 2 more fouls in the second half than there was called in the entire first half. And I mean, that's really how basketball always goes. Walker at the left wing goes with the left hand and hands it off to Hauser. And Hauser now from the top of the key, a 3. It's a 6-point game. And now Michigan State fighting to gain some space. And they've made it a 2-possession game for the first time in quite some time, as Michigan just cannot get that key stop or that key bucket as they are back down 2 scores. Joey Hauser. I keep calling him Adrian. I called him Adrian a few minutes ago. Joey Hauser. A huge 3. Michigan State back up 6. Michigan's going to need a late push here at home. Timeout. Wolverines. with 8:15 to go. I hate that because now in 15 seconds, we're going to have a media timeout. So I'll hold on for this, and then I'll take my break at the next media timeout. When is the next Hawks stream? Funny you ask. I was going to do one tomorrow night, but I had something pop up. I wanted to do that one against the Maple Leafs. I'm actually going to go look at the schedule right now. Holy cow, the Hurricanes are up in the Stadium Series 4-0 with 8:43 to go in the second. Look at that. Tuesday night, 7:30. That's late on a school night. Wednesday at 8:30. Jeez. Oh my gosh, next Saturday at 9:30. So then we go to the West Coast. Oh, jeez. To answer your question, oh, jeez. We don't have a game that is not past 8 o'clock. And look at this is a joke. This is what's wrong with the NHL. Here's what's wrong with the NHL. Out of the Blackhawks next like 10 games or whatever it is, there's only one game that is not past 7:30 Central. Or that is not past 8 o'clock Central. And that game is at 7:30. And here's this one. March the 2nd. 8 o'clock in Chicago. Are you kidding? I mean, then that game's getting over at almost 11 o'clock. And for a Thursday? Oh my gosh. That Friday, March 3rd, Hawks vs. Lightning wins that. Hold that thought. Michigan with a win today. They tie Rutgers for 1, 2, 3, 4. They tie Rutgers for 7th in the Big Ten. While Michigan State with a win ties Iowa for 4th in the Big Ten. It's a big game for both these teams, and we're already going down the stretch. Tell me, do you have dates on these games? I'm too lazy to go look. I could just look at a square schedule, but instead I just go through all of them. Preds Blackhawks, Saturday, March 4th. There's a slight possibility I might be out of town. So today I was at this Illinois watch party here in our town. And the all-time leading scorer, Dion Thomas, was there. I got a picture with him. I got his phone number. He wants me to come down and sit with him for a broadcast because he does Illinois radio for home games most of the time. He wants me to come sit with him for a broadcast. So now I've got the Illinois all-time leading scorer in basketball's phone number. So I might be in Champaign for that day, but we'll see. There's a 3 and a knockdown, baby! Joey Baker, heat up, why don't ya? They need him right now. And that's a big one to get him going, possibly. He's got 8, 2 in the form of 3 balls. 7:45 to go. It's a 3-point game again. Michigan still won't go away. There's a fadeaway. We've seen Hull be able to knock that down a few times today. Not there. Michigan can tie it with a 3 here. 7.5 minutes to go. 20 to shoot. McDaniel. Doug McDaniel, screen up high from Reed, who will roll off of it. McDaniel just dribbling all over the place, works it to the right wing. Dumped off for Dickinson. He tries a hook shot over 2 green jerseys, and now throwing it out of bounds is Carson Cooper. We've barely seen him play today. He only averages 1.5 points per game. He hardly plays, and there he makes possibly a mistake that we could look back late in this one, and one that, wow. With 7:15 to go in the game, that's interesting. Uh-oh, I shouldn't have talked about Illinois. Your comment, what video? You were doing that sweep video earlier, and your comments were disabled. I was going to come with this really creative comment. I don't know. Can't even beat you guys in football. But Brad Underwood used to go look up his post-game speech. I don't know what to make of it, because he's saying, oh, we're fine. Everybody, you played your best games of the season. Like, is that good for a head coach, or should he actually be trying to push them to get better? I mean, I understand trying to find all the positives. When you're playing number 14, I mean, I think we played well against number 14. These are 2 games in a row where we've finally been able to make most of our shots, but we've also given up almost 90 points. We gave up 95 to Penn State in regulation. But yeah, we can't close out games. And I don't get why RJ Melendez has the ball at the final second. Like, I mean, that's the last guy. Home court advantage has not mattered to us that much this year. I mean, the Orange Crush is great and all, but they oh my God, it takes them a lot to really get going. And I feel like a lot of Illinois fans, I think it's like this for every college, but there's a lot of very old Illinois fans. Like today, there were a few 90-year-olds at this watch party. Oh my gosh. We improved from the last time. I would not be scared of us in the tournament, and here's why. We haven't been able to do anything in the tournament these last few years. And I don't think that's going to change. Because the ability, you got to be able to close out games in the tournament. We don't have that ability. And another team that they're showing right up here that doesn't have the ability, I think, to go as far in the tournament as everybody thinks, that's Purdue. I mean, they lost 2 in a row. Now, obviously, it's a very good Maryland team. It's a very good Northwestern team. But, interesting. Indiana versus Illinois turned in. I made a vlog if I haven't seen it. I'll go try to find that later. After a speedy first half in this game, though, we're back from the timeout. After a speedy first half in this game, the second half's taken forever. I thought this game would get done at 9. It's already 8:55. We still got 7:15 to play. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, I'm here all night, but yeah. Before this game, they had a great documentary on Gus Johnson. Just putting it out there. Michigan State has 32 out of their 63 points in the paint. Michigan's only got 22 in there. But, I mean, it's because they've been, like, hitting a lot of jumpers from long 2-point jumpers, which are hard to make. There's another great offensive rebound from Terrace Reed Jr., and he puts it back home. And 1, and he'll head to the line to try to tie this basketball game. Big man strength, Terrace Reed. .610, the freshman. I mean, not every freshman is 6'10", 260. Wow. Now, oh, what a poke from Bufkin to knock it out of bounds. He was trying to plead his case that it should be Michigan's ball. The free throw was good, so we're tied again. Oh my gosh, we might have to stand up for this one. My legs are tired after 2 hours of rollerblading, but this is one appropriate game to stand up for. Indeed. Easy inbound here. It's going to go to Hoggard. Hoggard. Now there is Cooper. Cooper lobs it for Hoggard up high. Hoggard looking for somewhere to go with 5 to shoot. He'll just pull along 2. It's a brick. And we've got a rebound. Hauled in by Joey Baker. McDaniel up the right side. McDaniel, stutter step to the baseline. A layup with the left hand. He got nothing but air there. Now Michigan State trying to push their own. Instead, Hoggard will slow it right back up. 6:09 to go. Walker, left wing. Screen from Cooper. Walker dancing through. Ran into Dickinson. Will bounce it back up. Walker from the left elbow. No. And we got a defensive foul on Baker trying to box out Cooper. And because of the bonus, it will be Spartan free throws. $5:55 to play. Let's see. What did Austin say? Purdue always looks like a Final Four contender. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What team was I thinking about earlier today? There's so many teams that always look like that. I mean, that's what Illinois looked like these last few years. Front end of the 1-and-1 is good from Cooper. As part of this pretty good Michigan State free throw shooting team. There are only 6 of 7 free throws tonight. They haven't gotten to the line. Neither team's gotten to the line all that much. Michigan's only been there 10 times. Both free throws are good. That's big. As Cooper did his part, he will head back to the bench with 4 points, as I assume we won't see him again down the stretch. McDaniel's going to let this one roll all the way across half court before he picks it up, trying to preserve every second of clock. It's interesting, only down 2. It's still 5:55 to go. Oh, baby, what a play. Bufkin splits 3 defenders and lobs it up for Reed, who taps it in. Tied at 65. 5:38 to play. Hauser. Here's Hoggard. In with the right hand. Layup no good. Heavy contact, no foul. Up the right side comes Bufkin. Bufkin running the floor. Slows things up at the right wing. Feeds it to McDaniel. And we got a foul away from the ball. That's on 22 Sissoko. I'm not mistaken. That's going to be his 3rd. We've got Walker with 3. Sissoko and Hauser with 3, all for Michigan State. Shetter with 3. Bufkin with 3 for Michigan, which however you look at it, it can be an issue. It can be an issue. By the way, Michigan's going to shoot free throws. It's Dickinson. He shoots 72% at the line. First one's a big one to drop for him. But however you look at it, 3 can't be a big deal because it's late in the game, but also it can be a big deal because the physicality late in the game, they're starting to call more fouls. I don't know. It's 67-65 Michigan. Their first lead since 18-17 with 11:38 to go in the first half. Hauser stripped to the basketball. It's picked up by Baker. And here come the Wolverines trying to make a 2-score game. Baker at 3. Too strong. Huge rebound, Akins. Oh, that would have been huge. And that would have exploded this building. Tom Izzo wants a timeout. He is 20, 30 feet onto the court. Fired up at his guys. Down 2. Michigan State fighting for their whole community. The whole state, the whole country. Michigan doing the same, though, as well. As it'll be a timeout for Michigan State here. Michigan State basketball once we return from the timeout. 4:50 to play. Michigan's on a 10-2 run in the last 3 minutes, 10 seconds. Trying to even the series at 1. How fun would this matchup be in the Big Ten tournament? The answer is really fun. Michigan now in the bonus plus. Michigan State still in the bonus. Walker. Hoggard swung around. A 3-ball on the way. No good from Akins. That would have put Michigan State in front, but he forced it. Now Michigan another chance to take a 2-score lead with 4.5 to play. There's Buffkin. Or excuse me, McDaniel. Now Dickinson. Reed walks it in! Can't get the layup to go, but he's heading back to the line again. Terrace Reed, the man of the hour at the free throw line. He's been there quite a bit. Is that straight up? No. Give him a lot of body. It's Sissoko, who's now got 4, so he's probably going to have to come off the floor. And he's got to guard his Reed. He's 6'11". He's 260. 6'10", 260 out of St. Louis. First free throw, he needed it, but he can't get it. We've seen Reeds have some up and down games. He got 5 today, which is already 2 above his average, so not an off night whatsoever. 31st ranked freshman in last year's class. Or in this year's class, I should say. Michigan trying to get back on track after losing 2 in a row. Michigan State trying to push their win streak to 3 in a row. As both those free throws are no good, and then Dickinson tried to tip that back out to the top of the key, but ended up tipping it to Juwan Howard out of bounds. Michigan's 3-2 in their last 5 with losses to a good Indiana team and somewhat in a pretty decently struggling Wisconsin team. Wins over a tough Northwestern, struggling Ohio State and Nebraska team. Michigan State the same at 3-2. Hoggard walks in and doesn't get the rebound, but there's Hauser who lays in the bucket. 4 minutes to play. It's tied at 67. Michigan State has also gone 3-2 in their last 5. Lost to good Purdue and record teams. Wins versus Ohio State, Iowa, and whatever MO is. I can't read my own abbreviations. Dickinson. Oh, what a spin move! And he scores! Hunter Dickinson! The elusiveness. It's 69-67. We haven't seen it at all today. But there he puts it on the line. He's got 11 today. 6 rebounds, 4 of 12 from the field to go along with that. Sissoko looks like he wants to check back in. He's going to the table. Almost a 3 from Hall. He didn't pull the trigger. Instead, he goes a Euro step in. Oh, a rejection! Terrace Reed, the second half of his life. He's got a few blocks, a few big rebounds, a few and ones, a few points, a few free throws. Terrace Reed Jr. He's been a difference maker. Oh, Hunter Dickinson. And then Reed on the other end. Under 4 timeout. I need a voice break, and we're going to take it. Oh, we got one person on. Oh, what time? Yeah. Want me to stay on? I'll tell you, Austin. Hold up. I'll be back in a minute. We're taking this opportunity for a break. Under 4 timeout. 69-67 from Ann Arbor. The home team with a comeback lead. Still 3 minutes, 13 seconds to play. Does Michigan State have a comeback of their own? And I'm fighting for the entire fan base. Michigan State, Michigan. Wolverines up 2. Final minutes of the second half. We'll be back right after this. Under 4 timeout. We're back at it. That was the final TV timeout of this ball game. Michigan's up 2. Michigan State. First game since the Monday shooting on campus. First meeting belonged to Michigan State. That was at MSU. Michigan trying to even the season series at 1 apiece. Trying to end their 2-game losing streak and move to 15-12 overall. You get an in-state division rivalry win. Trying to win their 4th game out of their last 6. This Michigan team has been in close games all season. They played close with Indiana, Purdue, Virginia, North Carolina. All of these teams they were able to fight with till the end. They've been good in this building. Chrysler Center all year here in Ann Arbor. They were 10-4 at home. Hey, who knows? Maybe we have overtime in us. Wouldn't that be fun? If we go to overtime, it'd be Michigan State. They're 1-0 in overtime so far. Michigan's 1-1 in the 2 games they've played. Some of the numbers. Buffkin's got 12. He's 10th in the Big Ten and 20th in the Big Ten in points per game. He's got 32 minutes per game. He's been out there, but he has not been the same Kobe Buffkin we've seen in the past. It's been the Doug McDaniel show. Buffkin and McDaniel are on the floor with Dickinson, Reed, and Baker there. We have a foul on the inbound. I think we have another hurt Wolverine. Howard is still hurt. Obviously, with that ankle injury earlier. Or no, McDaniel's fine. He just wanted to take a little rest there. Hauser is at the free throw line. 85% free throw shooter, 75% as a team. 2 big ones coming up for Hauser, trying to tie the game. It's the front end of the 1-1. Rattled home. It's a 1-point game. 3:13 to play. That feels like an eternity. A big one to tie it. 13.7 on the season. He knocks down the second one per game for Hauser. He's got 20 tonight. He's been the difference maker. Hauser, the Marquette transfer, it's 5th year senior, 2019 red shirt in his first year with the Spartans. No big part. Backdoor. Oh, what a grab by Reed, who scores! And 1! Terrace Reed, the difference maker in the second half, does it again. He's just been strong. He hauls in with that with one hand, and then with 3 green jerseys making a triangle around him, he's able to go up strong and finish, drawing the foul. Now can he make a free throw? That's been tough for him today. Mady Sissoko has fouled out with only 4 points. That's tough to swallow if you're Michigan State. He's only a 32% free throw shooter, and the bank is open. Reed banks in a free throw. Even he has to chuckle about that one. They're jumping around in Ann Arbor. Does Tom Izzo want a timeout? No, he doesn't. 2:45 to go. Michigan State 1 for 8 in their last 8 attempts from the field. Walker looking to make something happen. Hauser. Walker. He's going to take a left wing 3. It's a tie game! Tyson Walker, the Northeastern transfer. He's 11th in the Big Ten in field goal percentage. We've seen him knock down big shots like this. He does it again to tie it at 72. Now on the other end, it's Reed. Backing down again. Reed to the corner. Right wing look for Baker. He airballed it too far. And that one's out of bounds. But it's not inside 2 minutes. They can't look at it. It's Michigan ball. Woo, baby! Whoa. Should not have tried to go high there. My voice does not allow it. Lobbed up and hauled in. Here is Buffkin. Step back three with the hand in his face. He puts Michigan back up 3. A minute 50 to go. You can't be more heavily guarded than that. Kobe Buffkin doesn't care. 20th in the Big Ten in points per game. He's acting like it. He's got 16. Check it, 15. Oh, Reed again on the defensive end. Goes up and swats it away with one hand. Get that out of my face, Terrace Reed. A minute 20. This could be the dagger if Michigan could pull something off here. What do they have in them? McDaniel reverses it. Dickinson, open look. And it's a 6-point game. This time in the form of Hunter Dickinson. Michigan has their biggest lead in the second half. This place is rocking. The big man, the 7'1" center, knocks the long 3 down. He's acting like in the second half, during these last few minutes, he's the preseason Wooded Award watch list. Oh, Reed gets it done on the defensive end. They knock down a 3. I mean, the big guy, the lefty, Dickinson, rattles one home. 6-point lead. You know what? I think I might have found my new 3 catchphrase. It's however big the lead is. Instead of saying got it or something boring like that, I can say I just said it's a 3-point game and I said it's a 6-point game. I didn't do that on purpose, but I kind of like it. Michigan, I mean, they just never went away in this game, and that's a good trait to have. Sometimes you just got to be able to hang around before you find that opportunity to eventually prevail, and that's the opportunity that they found these last few minutes here in the second half. Up 6, the minute 5 to go. Somewhat difficult upcoming schedule for Michigan. They go to Rutgers, then they're home against Wisconsin before on the road at Illinois and Indiana. Not easy whatsoever. While Michigan State, they're going to host a tough Indiana team, go on the road to a tough Iowa team, host an easy Nebraska team, or go on the road to an easy Nebraska team, host an easy Ohio State team. So we'll see. Michigan needs this win more than Michigan State does, to put it frank. And that's just the facts. We've got 60 seconds to go. A step back 3, and that's just a 4 shot, a silly shot. Michigan State wants it over the back foul on Dickinson. They ain't going to get it, and there's a foul on the Spartans. I just messed up my whole format here. Okay. Michigan is looking like they're going to win. First one is good. Adding to the total for McDaniel. He's got 18. And there's number 2. 80-72, 45 seconds to go. It looks like it's nothing but over for Michigan State. Hauser, kick Hogard. In with the right hand. Missed the layup. Heavily contested. Can't get it to go. Baker gets bear hugged by Walker. And this baby's nothing but over. 34.8 left to go. Tom Izzo disappointed. But if you're Michigan State... Okay, what's going on outside? I've got sirens coming from all directions. Oh well. Joey Baker's at the line. It's nothing but over. I mean, he only shoots 54% from the line, but he is able to knock one down, and that's what's big for Michigan down the stretch. They've been able to hit their free throws. I mean, they're going to end up winning by 10. You know Michigan State wanted this win for their community, for the university, for the state. They just couldn't pick it up, and sometimes that's just how it goes. But you can't complain about the effort. It just looked like they kind of just got outplayed there at the end. They got tired a bit. That shot's about 15 feet too short, and they aren't even going to worry about fouling. Never mind, they are. Hauser's going to foul. They can feel it now. Buffkin running around with an ear-to-ear smile. 21.6 to go. Michigan State was in control for most of the first half, most of the second half. But Michigan near the end, they were just able to get a few of the needed buckets. They were able to hit threes down the stretch, build off this crowd energy. Late in games, I mean, that's when this crowd energy, it pumps some adrenaline in you. And it drains the adrenaline out of Michigan State or the visiting team. Timeout, Tom Izzo. Might as well use it. Wolverines are going to get out of here with this one. They're going to even the season series. And after a game where the first one was 59-53, here we got 84-72. We might still see a few buckets. So pretty impressive. I mean, Michigan State, I mean, they're 5 points above their average. Michigan, 11 points above their average. So that ain't bad. I mean, both these teams give up quite a bit per game. But not this much. Michigan State only gives up 64 per game. They gave up 84 today. I mean, Terrace Reed a difference down the stretch. He wasn't the most elite scorer today, but he was definitely good on the defensive end. He forced a few turnovers, a few good blocks. You need guys like that. Michigan's going to get their fourth win in 6 games. Michigan State's going to fall to 3-3 in their last 6. And there's just how these last 2 minutes have gone. The pass goes to Hauser, but his right foot was on the baseline. Difference maker. Start the second half, and in the first half was Doug McDaniel. Late in the second half, it was Terrace Reed. Fans rise to their feet. Final 5 seconds are going to tick off for the state of Michigan. The Michigan Wolverines get it done. An 84-72 final. They knock off the Spartans, who fall to 16-10. Wolverines go to 15-12. A big win, as they will now go tied for 7th in the Big Ten. Michigan takes this one 84-72 in front of their home faithful. It was a game for Michigan, the state of Michigan. Whoever won this game was going to feel proud of what they did for all the victims of the tragedy last week at MSU. Oh, what a Saturday. Thanks for hopping on with me, everybody. Michigan on top. It's 84-72. They get one of the best rivalries in sports, the in-state rivalry. The Michigan rivalry belongs to the Wolverines. They get a home victory. They moved to 11-4 at home on the season. Michigan State falls to 4-6 on the road in the season. Spartans go to 16-10 overall, 8-7 in the Big Ten. Wolverines 9-7 in the Big Ten, 15-12 overall. Michigan was able to pull away there at the end somewhat after a game that was well fought all the way through the end. Leading scorer award belongs to Joey Hauser, who got 20 on the day. Walker helped him out with 11. Hall off the bench got 14. 18 for McDaniel, who led Michigan. A big day for Buffkin with 17. Baker had a few big threes down the stretch with 10. And then Reed with 8. With 10 rebounds to go along with that. 2 steals, 3 blocks. So what a day with Terrace Reed. Few big ones for those coming late in the second half to really lock up that win. Michigan comes from behind. They walk into their home building and they ruin Michigan State's hopes of winning for their campus. But still, Michigan represents the state of Michigan, honors all those victims of the tragedy last week. The Wolverines tie the season series at 1 apiece. Wouldn't this be a fun matchup to see come March, either in the Big Ten tournament or in the NCAA tournament? Oh, what a ball game. I had a lot of fun. Thanks for watching, everybody. We're going to see you all next time, hopefully. What a night. What a Saturday night. Thanks for joining me. Michigan on top. They beat the Spartans 84-72 from the Chrysler Center. We're signing off. Michigan on top of the Spartans. Goodbye, everybody.